Welcome back, Death Toll Racing. So I bought some silicone bronze welding wire for doing little art projects like this one. This is a Christmas present for Aquila. I used Rufio's tail feathers, which is our bird that actually just passed away. They weren't the feathers off of him. He had shed those. But anyway, I was really surprised with how strong this bronze welding wire was. So I wanted to test it. So I'm just basically doing a weld coupon. I want to weld this thing up and actually bend this stuff and see how strong it actually is, because it really amazed me how strong it was. So it doesn't sound good while you're doing it, because you're essentially creating a ball of weld, and then that ball will drip down onto the steel, and then the process will start over. You don't want to have like a short circuit weld like you would if you're doing normal short circuit welding. I used 100% argon. And then I'll go over all my machine settings and the wire diameters and all that stuff here in just a second. So I welded up one side, and I say welding loosely because you're technically not really welding this. I welded up one side and then ground it flat, and then we welded the other side and then ground it flat. So when we bend it, we're testing the same material thickness as the steel itself. So it ends up looking a lot better than it sounds while you're doing it, but it doesn't sound very good, and it's kind of a flat only wire. You can weld it out of position as far as like a tack goes, but if you try to run like a continuous bead, it just fall out because it stays liquid for quite a while. So I'm going to bend this thing over now. I put it in the vise down low, and I'm hitting it kind of up high so that we're, roughly testing the weld versus the rest of the steel, or the bronze versus the rest of the steel. And it was way stronger again than I was expecting. It actually bent the steel, and then it finally broke. So let's take a closer look at this thing. It doesn't look like it actually unadhered from the steel, which is really surprising. I would expect that it would just peel off of the steel, and it really doesn't. I mean, that just really glues itself onto the steel really well. It's pretty amazing. I'm sure there's a lot of other uses for that other than just doing art projects, but that's what I use it for. So electrode positive, 100% argon, 030 wire is what I used, or 8mm wire, or 0.8mm wire. 18 volts and 230 is what was working out on my machine, or that's 5.82 meters a minute. I think that's how you guys do it metric. I don't know. I always do standard stuff. But this is kind of what it looks like when you're welding. You got the cone there. A ball will go, and you'll see the electricity. That's the blue squiggly lines there. You'll see the electricity going down, and it'll actually look like it's kind of cleaning the steel. And then that ball will drip down, and it'll just soak right into the steel. And then the process starts over again. And that's how you'll have it. You do have to have your tensioner tighter than you would expect to have, because it does slip on the rolls a little bit. So what I did with this arrowhead is I actually cut it out of steel, covered it, welded over the whole thing, and then peened it around with a ball peen hammer to make it look antique. I'm not much of an artist, so I'm pretty happy with the way this thing turned out. But obviously everyone's taste will differ. If you click more just below this video, you'll go into my description, and in there you will find a link to the wire that I used in this video. I highly recommend the wire. It works really well, but it's the only wire like this I've ever used. So, but if you follow that link, you'll help support the channel. Otherwise, we will see you on the next one.